Hello everybody, happy Monday. It is July 24th and I'm here in the front garden to give you a garden update. So right here in front of me we have quite a few yellow flowers. These that are down closer to the ground are called Coreopsis. And up top, this is about eye level, we have these super tall plants called false sunflowers. So they have really pretty yellow flowers, very happy. And we do have, of course, real sunflowers, which as you can see are drooping. We're going through somewhat of a dry spell, so I should probably water those today. Here on the far side of the garden, we have plants which are coming out of a seed packet from Botanical Interests. This is the Save the Bees seed packet. I love this company. Most of the flower packets that I've gotten from them have worked really, really well here in Maryland. And some of the plants that are coming up include sunflowers. So this one is definitely going to be a sunflower plant. We also are seeing some cosmos leaves. We have the borage, which I showed you in the June video. And we have these beautiful zinnia flowers, adding some different colors to this section of the garden. And I think I see dill in the distance here. That one looks like dill. So I'm really excited to see what these plants do in the next month or two. But in the meantime, we have some other flowers over towards the path. So I'm going to walk over there and show you what's growing on that side. Some of these you will recognize from the June video. We still have a few of the snapdragon blossoms on here. The bugleweed is covering the ground in a really nice way. And you'll recognize some of these flowers which were in the last video, so I won't go through those again. What's really cool is this plant surrounding the sunflower. This is actually catnip, which I haven't grown before. It's starting to subside in terms of the flowers, but we've had so many pollinators visit this plant. You can see there's a honeybee right there. And it's just been really cool to see all the pollinators visiting this garden. There's so many bees and butterflies every day, and they're really quite beautiful, almost like bush type plants, this catnip. And we did test it on Houdini. It does work. So it's definitely catnip. So we have a couple zinnias and other borage plants over here. We have quite a few echinacea plants in the back. But the real showstopper in this garden right now is this new type of lily called the double tiger lily. It has very cool blossoms, and you can see why it's called double. So these have been opening very slowly. I think this is the first day I've actually seen the stamens. But that is just a really fun looking plant to have in the garden. It's super tall, taller than me. And you remember in June we had the Forever Susan lilies, so those have actually finished by now. They were over here. And so now we have a nice progression to this new double tiger lily. This other tall plant here with the white flowers is Diane White Culver's root. And this is a really nice native plant. I haven't grown this before either. We got it at the Sheep and Wool Festival, and it's just done really well here. It hasn't needed any maintenance at all. It's really just thriving, very, very easy to care for. So I'm really happy to have this. And it's a perennial, so it should be here for quite a while. The hollyhocks are done. They've formed their seed pods by now. And the gladiolus is new. So in the last video you saw there were just the leaves coming up looking just like that. And they've all opened into these beautiful sorbet colors. We have kind of a peach color over here, some yellows, some reds and whites. I think I do need to stake these plants though, because they've all flopped over. And then I didn't mention these in the last video, and there was a question. So in these nice flower pots, we have Gabbera daisies, we have, I think this is called broadleaf palm, really beautiful kind of purplish red color in here. I love that as a centerpiece. And then we have some petunias and geraniums, which are not blooming anymore. So that's it for the front garden. Let's move on to the next. Here we are in the terraced garden. In the bottom row, I planted 2 small plants of rosemary, which I propagated from our bushes in the herb garden. So there's one there and one there. I actually forgot about these. I planted them maybe a week ago, but rosemary, as you all know, is drought tolerant, and so they're doing just fine. In the next row up, we have some zinnia plants, which have lots of beautiful colors, very fun to grow in the garden. I'm sliding down the hill in my shoes, which are falling off my feet, so bear with me. All right, next, this is the asparagus row. And this plant is doing really well despite being eaten several times by who knows what, deer or groundhogs most likely. And we've gotten some pretty fun shoots coming up, so I think next year we might actually be able to harvest some of this plant. We will see. In this row, I'm not sure what's going on in here. I planted 4 types of flowers, but I didn't do a great job watering, and so I'm not sure if that green is something that I planted or weeds. Maybe you will find out in the next episode. And the next row up, this is the tomato and basil row. So we have San Marzano tomatoes, which look like they're finally starting to ripen. We've been waiting all summer for those. And here is the beautiful purple oregano plant. We usually have a lot of pollinators on here. Look, there's a bee. And this has just grown exponentially. We got this as a tiny little flower pot last year, and it's just doing so well. So this is really exciting. And I had some flowers in the top row, but looks like it's a little overgrown. Now we're in the blueberry and azalea patch. Pretty much all the blueberry plants have finished producing. There is one plant here, and the tag is gone, so I can't tell you which variety this is. But we still have so many blueberries on this plant. Really delicious. So we've been harvesting for pretty much a month, which is awesome. Definitely a lot more than we were able to get last year, so that's really exciting. I can't wait for these to be full bushes and to make pies every single weekend. I'm back in the blueberry patch. There's a grasshopper right here. I don't know if you can see him. But I had to go inside and find my record of what plants are where in this patch. So this is actually the high bush blueberry variety bonus. And what I should mention is that this was one of the last to start producing. So it's not that it's been producing twice as long as everything else in here. It's just that each of these varieties, sorry, I can't help myself. Each of these varieties starts and ends at a different time, which is really nice because then you have a much longer season of blueberries. Last but not least, we're here in the herb garden and the patch adjacent to the herb garden. So I'll start here. What I planted in here in the spring is a seed packet by Botanical Interests called Perennial Bloom. Now, I'm not sure entirely which of these flowers are from that seed packet and what are from previous year's plantings, but what I can tell you is what's currently growing in here. And so we have quite a few sunflower plants. They're the short variety, and as you can see, we have a bird feeder right here, and we do often put sunflower seeds in the bird feeder. So where these came from, I'll never know for sure, but they're growing and they're beautiful, and I can't complain. We have black-eyed Susans growing, we have some more sunflowers coming up. This massive sprawling sage plant has been here for several years and it keeps expanding. In the center, I can see some more black-eyed Susans thinking about coming up. They're over there, and we have more echinacea plants about to open. And let's see what else is over here. I just used my PlantNet app to identify some of these. This is yarrow. Looks a little bit like Queen Anne's lace, very pretty. Has some delicate leaves. And this pot is a lilac plant that I got last year. This beauty is tobacco. How cool is that? Not that I would have any use for it. And, oh shoot, I just looked this up. The bright yellow orange flower is, hold on, butterfly milkweed. And that is super pretty. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Okay, I'll try to get a little closer. Isn't that pretty? Next to it is cilantro, and it's already bolted. This usually goes so fast that I don't even see the leaves before they've bolted. There's dill right beside it. That'll be delicious to cook with. And some other plants in here, those might be hollyhocks. I actually weeded a lot of these out from other areas of the garden, and the weeds that I neglected turned out to be hollyhocks. So I'm gonna let these go and just see what happens. And then moving on to the herb garden, we have these ginormous rosemary plants. I didn't know that you're supposed to prune rosemary, but now I do. The thyme has finished blooming. We have nasturtiums popping up. Those are all the fun lily pad shaped leaves in here. So that was really successful. We are still getting strawberries from these strawberry plants, which I'm very surprised by. In fact, here are some strawberries right now, so don't take my word for it. Look at all the strawberries. This is insane. This is the first year we've actually been able to eat some. Normally the chipmunks get to them before we get a chance, but we have had quite a few strawberries, which has been a nice change. And the beautiful echinacea flowers in the back. The French lavender is still blooming back there, but I think that's it for now. Maybe next month we'll have some blooms on the nasturtiums. And the very last update is just to tell you that I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing, oh my gosh, look. Yes, we are. Surprise lilies! Look! So I'll have to capture these in August. Wow, that's insane. Literally yesterday, I swear it was yesterday. How is that possible? They were like 3 inches above the ground, and now they're over a foot tall. So I'll have to look up the growth rate on those plants, but that is amazing. So there you have it. This concludes the July 2023 garden update. I hope you enjoyed.